This is the quick start section, probably one of the more important subjects we're going to talk about, and that's the setup and the fitting of the Divator full face mask. Just as with the rest of my equipment, as I set it up, I inspect it all for fit and function. Make sure it's all in good shape so I'm ready to dive when I get in the water. With this, I start with the hose. From the hose, I go to the swivel. I always make sure that my hose is firmly wrenched onto the swivel, but then I make sure that my swivel is only finger tight to the mask. I check the function of the swivel, make sure it's in good shape. Then I check the regulator. I go on farther around the regulator to make sure my regulator is functioning. I have my air turned on. Then I go back to the straps. With the straps, I have the ear microphone assembly here, so my ear pads with the earphones in them are pulled to the rear. Then I want to make sure all my straps are fully extended. Go all the way around the mask, make sure they're all extended. Then next, I check my buckles to make sure that my buckle attachments to the mask are all in good shape, that they're not torn out, that they're going to function well when I make my dive. Then I go to my skirt. The inside of the skirt, I check to make sure that there's no tears. I check the buckle around here, make sure it's all in good shape. On the inside, I'm going to check my push pad. That's the equalizing block assembly. With that, it's got 3 positions. I make sure it's in the position that I want it set in. I also make sure that it's firmly on the wire form in there to make sure it doesn't come off during the dive. Then I check the position of the microphone. We have 2 different types of microphone, or actually styles of microphone. One goes off to the side, the other one's in the front. That's the older style. Make sure that the microphone is properly positioned off to the side or right in the front, right off the tips of your lips. Then next I check on the inside of the oral nasal pocket the one-way valves. I make sure that the one-way valves are in good condition and that they lie flat on the valve seats. Check around the rest of the oral nasal pocket. Then I check the one-way valve on the inside of the ambient air breathing valve. Once I do that, I go to the outside. I make sure that my ABV is open, since when I don my mask I'll be on the surface. I'll want to breathe ambient air and not my tank air. I check the visor and the visor frame, make sure it's not cracked, and make sure that the visor is in proper position all the way around. Once I do that, a quick overall check of the mask, everything looks good, then I prepare to don the mask and dive. Some of you may be using a standard AGA hose. If that's the case, then you take your hose firmly seated onto the regulator, screw this on hand tight or finger tight only, make sure you never use any tools. Next, we're going to talk about the fit of the mask. And this is probably the most important for a good dive and a very comfortable dive. It needs to be properly fitted. As we talked about earlier, all the straps are going to be fully extended. We're going to clear the straps from the mask. We're going to insert our chin into the chin pocket. Next, we're going to pull the head harness down over the back of the head. Make sure it's nice and loose, get it in proper position. You want to make sure that your chin is firmly in the chin pocket. The rest of the mask is going to fall where it lays. You have to have your chin firmly in the chin pocket. Once we get that done, we're going to pull the straps. We're going to start with the jaw straps first. We're going to pull to the rear the strap, as if you're putting your fist behind your head. Do the chin strap first, the temple strap second. Lightly, if at all, pull on the top strap. Make sure that the head harness is as far down on the back of the head as you can get it. Again, we're going to pull the chin straps first, temple strap second. We're going to snug the top strap up as needed. Now, if you over-tighten the top strap, what's going to happen is the head harness is going to be at the top of the head. It needs to be at the back of the head, at the base of the skull, so that it's pulling the mask back onto the face, not up onto the face. If anybody complains of jaw fatigue, say that their jaw hurts afterwards and they have to fight with the mask, most likely it's because they've over-tightened the top strap. Now, as a quick recap, we've inspected everything. We have our straps in the proper position. We're going to go ahead and don the mask, just as we described.